Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she is target enemy number one, not just for the Democratic Party establishment, but for Republicans. And we see this with Ilhan Omar, other grassroots candidates, or people that came into office. So are you ready? Like, how do you think you'd be able to cope with that? Because I'm just thinking psychologically how difficult this must be to be the number one target when you're one of the only people in Congress representing the people. Like, can you just respond to the response that AOC got after she won, and how you think you would be able to cope with that if, it remained the same, which I'm assuming it would? How about you, Corey? Because you're running again right now.
Yeah. So I guess the last 5 years of my life has been nothing but the first 3 years anyway was just a lot of scrutiny, a lot of uh, people saying some really terrible things about me, not knowing who I am, and then I became a black identity extremist, and then all of those things. So I think for every bullet that's been shot into my car, for everything that I've gone through, every time I was ran off of a road, I think that I think I'm ready to be able to, if I can handle that, if I can stand up in front of tanks, if I could be, if I can be assaulted by the police, I can handle that. Like, I think I'm ready for that. And I know that, when I see Alex, every time, and she'll say this, every time I see her, I say, how are you doing? How are you handling this? How are you sleeping at night? Because no matter what you say, people are there recording and putting out articles, even when you don't want to. Do you even get to go to the bathroom? But I think that comes with it. That's part of it. So I think that in the same way we grew to be to this point, because we're different people than we were when we first decided to run. Our skin has thickened and so many other things. And so in the same way, I think that we'll all be ready.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Amy?
I agree. I think that we've all been brought to this level by the amount of persecution that we faced, even just with announcing. And I have to say that, Alex is a human being. I mean, she is dealing with an immense amount of pressure. And, all of us, we offer words of encouragement when we see each other. But, at the end of the day, I think all of us know that what we're up against is the fight of our lives for this country. And even the ones that didn't make it, we're still feeling repercussions from us standing up publicly, for us having a voice in our communities, in our abilities to have jobs, and our people, the way that they treat us. Every one of us across the board has had to pay prices. Many of us can't get jobs in our career fields anymore. Many of us, because of running for office and being that outspoken. But that's what it takes to go and have a movement. That's what it takes to stand up against a machine and against power. We have to be willing to sacrifice and say, come what may, bring it on.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. How about you, Paula?
Well, I was already facing a lot of scrutiny before I run for office. I mean, especially during the Massey era here. If you were begging for water and you were fighting against industry, you were labeled as a tree hugger, and people threatened your life. And so, I've been through a lot of that already. It was amplified probably 10 times after running for office. There was a lot more scrutiny. I had my life threatened. I had people follow me. But the struggle here at home is no greater than any struggle that we can face. Like Ferguson, losing their children because and people dying because they don't have health care, or people dying of drug addiction in this state and dying of cancer. People think it's extreme, but I've said it. What they've asked me, why aren't you afraid for your life? Because if things don't change, I'm going to die anyway.
Wow.
People die here at an alarming rate, and that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. So, I think that, you just develop this thick skin, because, my biggest fear is if my kids will get, I worry if my kids will get cancer every day. Mm-hmm. And I would a whole lot rather fight than lay down and take it. And so, when and if I run for office again, it's no bigger than the battle we have at home.
Mike is a total loser, so don't hit the subscribe button, okay? And whatever you do, folks, do not hit the notification bell either. Mike treats me so unfairly.